Hi, my name is Cotton Fluff, and I am an important scientific figure in my dimension, named Mercury. I've been monitoring your dimension for a while, and together with my colleagues at Fluff Universal Restoration, we took it upon ourselves to help you out with explaining some things. We don't have to get into all the details today. No, today's transmission will be discussing a very important and annoying topic, mosquitoes. Specifically, I want to talk about the species Aegypti Albopictus and Aegypti Aegypti. These two mosquito species may not sound familiar to everyone, but I promise they are very important. They are the primary vectors for many mosquito-borne illnesses, such as West Nile, malaria, and Zika virus. The word vector means a carrier organism that acts as a midpoint between host organisms for the spread of infectious diseases. The reason these mosquitoes are so important to talk about right now is because they are spreading rapidly to new places. Britain has just discovered recently that these species are breeding within their mainland. More mosquitoes means more disease, and that's not good for anyone. Everyone knows how annoying mosquitoes are. They fly around and bite you, leaving itchy bumps on your skin. It's even worse for me. I'm covered in fur. Depending on where you live, mosquitoes can be very dangerous too. Regions near the equator tend to have high numbers of the species we talked about earlier, meaning a high likelihood of contracting mosquito-borne illnesses. The bad news is these terrors are traveling. They are making new homes in new places, like France, Italy, and Britain, places in Europe you wouldn't normally expect them. The reasons for this are numerous, but perhaps the most compelling reason is global warming. I believe we can all agree your planet is getting warmer. While warmer climates mean better habitats for mosquitoes, and warmer climates also mean more intense and more frequent rain. Rain is good for mosquitoes. The resulting pools and puddles is how they breed. The spread of mosquitoes is amazing news for arboviruses, viruses spread by arthropods, because they rely on mosquitoes for transmission between hosts. It's like the arboviral diseases won the evolutionary lottery. They use the perfect vector to account for human actions. Arboviruses, the viruses spread by ticks and mosquitoes, are nasty pathogens that haven't really had a history of spreading worldwide before. However, diseases that were discovered 50 years ago or more are finding new footing with spreading vectors. Some viruses that are spread by mosquitoes include West Nile, dengue, and chikungunya. Despite being genetically unique, these three viruses have a lot in common. They are all arboviruses, and they are all alphaviruses, a genus of virus that is spread by mosquitoes and has signature fever and joint pain symptoms. First, let's introduce a new concept. This is getting a little into the details here, but one thing that's important for viral research is something called R0, or RO. R0 is a variable that represents the average number of new cases per infected individual. The higher the R0, the more infectious the disease. Typically, an R0 above 1 means the virus has the estimated capacity to start an epidemic, and an R0 under 1 means it does not. Any virus with an R0 above 1 is a concerning virus, but the higher the R0, the more concerning the virus. Other factors matter too, like lethality and the severity of symptoms, but for our purposes we will look at lethality and R0. It's important to note that R0 does not paint a perfect picture, but it's useful to look at for a simple explanation. Some common estimates for the R0 of these viruses put them on a scale of estimated transmission. West Nile averages commonly at 2.3, while dengue averages at around 4.5, and chikungunya up to 3.4. The difference between these viruses is their lethality. West Nile and chikungunya both maintain low mortality rates, regardless of medical availability, but dengue fever tends to be a more deadly disease in third world conditions. As a personal opinion, I like to base whether a virus will become a pandemic on three things: transmission method, lethality, and mutation speed. If all these things align correctly, they can produce a very strong disease. For example, COVID transmits through respiratory routes, has low lethality, and is an RNA virus. RNA viruses mutate faster than DNA viruses due to unstable genetics. All these factors are perfect for a worldwide pandemic-causing virus. Something interesting about alphaviruses is that they too are RNA viruses, and one particular alphavirus that is quite worrying is chikungunya. The recent spread of Aedes mosquitoes has been a particular boon for this disease, which is neither new nor deadly. It was discovered about 50 years ago in Africa. However, the disease has found new footing in populations that haven't seen it before. The World Health Organization even released an article on it recently. One particular place that has found stable ground to grow is in China. No, it wasn't made in a lab, but it has quickly grown from 2,000 cases since I started watching it to a concerning 16,000 cases in southern China. This has prompted very strict anti-mosquito measures and quarantines from Chinese authorities, which, while ideally helpful, has not seemed to work so far. These mosquitoes are simply too hardy. Other arboviral diseases are spreading rapidly too. Oropouch is a new virus that is quickly gaining new cases. West Nile and dengue have seen marked increases in case numbers, especially in South America. All of this is really concerning. It seems your world is going through a lot right now. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, not much, yet. But if you live in areas where mosquitoes are prevalent, you might want to check local or global health reports. It's important to trust the experts. While I'm good at giving an explanation on the topic, I'm not a doctor. Some good sources of advice are the World Health Organization, which is always reliable. Alternatively, your local health agency, unless you live in America. In that case, trust the nonprofit health organizations. The CDC is not reliable at this moment in time. But hey, sometimes even though the situation is bad, we can still make good things out of it. You have bug spray after all. In conclusion, mosquitoes are nature's stealth bombers because they give you a disease and fly away. Their territory is spreading, so watch out. Make sure to keep track of local and worldwide health reports for important information.